And people who detox in an unsupervised environment can die. They can have seizures. They can have altered mental status.
So physically, what does the body go through when someone comes in for detox off of, after years and years of using and drinking? So is it harder when someone goes back out, relapses? Is each detox when they come back, is it harder on their body? You're listening to the Keeping It Sober podcast, episode 17.
And now for that crazy guy doing a podcast from his parents' basement, here's Jaime Valdez.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Keeping It Sober podcast. I'm your host, Jaime Valdez. Today we have an interview with a nurse from a detox unit in South Texas. Her name is Kit. She talks about some things you should really know about detox when you start your recovery. So let's get right to it. Here it is, interview with Nurse Kit. People drive all the time down a particular windy road in the South Texas Hill Country, observing the beautiful wildlife with every turn. As the daylight narrows and the stars light up the road, drivers don't see what's nestled between the live oak and the dashing deer, a residential drug and alcohol treatment center, and more so, a detox unit. And it's at that detox unit that I had the pleasure of meeting a nurse. Not just any nurse, a very special nurse. A nurse, well, in recovery herself. So this is a story about a nurse, a detox nurse. And today we'll answer some of the questions. What is a detox? How long does detox last? Is detox harder after each drug and alcohol relapse? How would someone know if they need a detox? And the most important question, can someone die of detox?
Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me to do this. It's actually a really special gift to have you interview and talk with me tonight. My background is I've been a nurse for 33 years. I've done a wide variety of nursing. The last nursing job that I had, I did home hospice work for almost 10 years. And I got a lot of gifts out of that job. But I have to say that my job as a nurse in a drug and alcohol treatment center is actually the most rewarding. I feel like I've come home, oddly enough. That's kind of my background. And I guess I should also say, in all honesty, that I'm in recovery. I'm a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. Alcohol is my drug of choice. And I've been sober, it'll be 4 years on May 1st.
I'm really excited also, actually, to interview you, and I'm really nervous to interview you. And just to give everyone a little background, I think, since I have a radio background, first of all, and I love interviewing and I love play-by-play, but I don't know why this one's kind of special. It's you are going to be the first person I ever interviewed for my podcast, one. Two, you're a new friend in recovery and a friend in general, so that's pretty awesome. And number three, I think we both love what we do here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and man, besides the actual working with clients, I have to say that in this job, I'm graced and gifted to work with some of the finest people. This night shift crew is amazing. You especially, Jaime, you've taught me so much, about client care. You're so cool and so calm and so collected all the time, man, and your work is, you just have so much integrity and you're so excellent with the clients and you push me to be better than even sometimes I think I can be. I think we make a great team. And I have to say there are other RAs on the night shift that do the same for me. And ironically, the people that push me the hardest and make me think the most are the women and men that are in recovery here. So I'd have to say that's just a huge gift. A huge gift.
Oh, well, thank you. And you're right. We have an awesome night crew. And just so you know, I want to work hard for you and for a couple of other nurses. You guys make me want to work hard for y'all. And it's pretty cool that it's all for, the better purpose of the client. Yeah. In the end, that's what it's all about. And when we go home in the morning and everyone's still breathing, it feels good, right? Okay. I'm here with Nurse Kit. She is a detox nurse at a South Texas treatment center. And we're going to talk a little bit about detox. What exactly is it? Does everyone need detox? And can people die from detox? That's a pretty serious question. And, how do you know if you need detox? So first, let's talk about you, Kit. So you told us a little bit about you're in recovery. You told us a little bit about your addiction. Why did you come to addiction treatment? Why that field?
So after some of my yets caught up with me, I had a little bit of trouble with the Board of Nursing, and I had applied for 87 jobs, and I had gotten one interview, and I had a job offer 18 months before I actually got hired. The previous nurse manager here saw something in me, and so did the previous director, and what I needed to do was get 2 years sober. So I continued to do a lot of service work. I cleaned houses. I did odd jobs. I took older people to the doctor. I did everything I needed to do one day at a time to keep myself in service and stay in the program. Being offered this position was truly my higher power intervening in my life. So that's how I ended up here. And I think I'm really lucky. I mean, I didn't know what to expect because I didn't come to rehab and I didn't detox in a facility. So actually this was all new territory, but I just kept saying yes. And that's how I got here.
That's a pretty cool story. 87 jobs? That's pretty cool. Hey, real quick, and I just thought of this. Share a little story about some of your pets you have. Because I know you and me, you would think on Facebook I don't have kids because all I do is post pictures of my pets.
Well, all my kids do have 4 legs. In between nursing jobs, one of the jobs that I did have was I worked at Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Utah. I lived there for 4 years, and I worked at Hurricane Katrina for 2 months. I lived and worked in Mississippi and Louisiana, helping to set up basically a huge portable clinic for dogs, cats, birds, reptiles, horses, pigs, whatever we could rescue out of people's homes. Just a very sad but very rewarding enterprise. We saved over 3,000 animals. And my partner and I have 5 pets at home. One of them only has 2 legs that work, so we have a dog in diapers. So I guess it's like a kid. And, they're another saving grace for me. I have a lot of humility around the fact that every day I'm greeted with non-judgmental, just constantly loving and open and trusting little sentient beings. And it's a pretty cool feeling to have them be part of my family.
Cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about detox. Okay, so I want everyone to know that when I say the word detox, I'm talking about addiction detox from drugs and alcohol. So we're also going to talk about why detox is important in our recovery. So, Kit, just in general, let's just talk about, detox and how it fits into our recovery program.
That's a really good question. So medical detox is the process where someone decides that they want to get clean and they know it has been suggested to them, perhaps by a medical professional, that the amount of drugs or alcohol that they've been using would require them to be medically supervised while they come off drugs or alcohol. And that's really important. So when people come in, they're not feeling their best, and our job as nurses is to do a complete assessment and to help people to understand what protocol, meaning what kind of medical treatments we're going to provide for them and that they can participate in so that they can get these substances out of their system in conjunction with some pharmaceutical support, meaning we're going to give you some medication to help you get off of medication, to help you not have serious physical side effects. And people who detox from benzos and from alcohol in an unsupervised environment can die because they can go into delirium tremens, or DTs, like people call them. They can have seizures, they can spike temperatures, they can have altered mental status related to dehydration, blood pressure problems, the onset of seizures, a very high heart rate, liver and kidney problems. So we need to be monitoring people closely, especially benzos and alcohol, like I said. Folks that come in and detox off opiates, they're usually pretty uncomfortable. And the main reason that we medically supervise them is to help control their side effects, which are generally not life-threatening.
Okay, so physically, what does the body go through when someone comes in for detox off of, after years and years of using and drinking? I know there's some physical things going on with someone's body when they come into detox, and what are some of those things?
So I guess physically, the biggest issues are related to the fact that our brain's neurotransmitters are used to getting turned on or turned off by the substances that we're taking into our body. And when the substances aren't coming in anymore, our brains and our livers and our kidneys and our hearts start acting kind of funky. And that's the reason that we need to supplement with pharmaceuticals, appropriate medications to help people not have such serious withdrawals by their body systems, if that makes sense.
No, it really does. And so let's talk about the mental detox. Is there like a mental detox that people go through too, like through their mind and stuff when they come in, maybe delusional or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of people do have what we call cognitive changes, neurocognitive changes. Again, some people do display a lot of confusion. Some people can have the sense that they're seeing things, hearing things, feeling creepy crawlies on them. They're confused as to where they are. And some people are very sensitive to light, to noise, to sound. And again, that's why we give medications to kind of help reduce the severity of those symptoms. Our goal as nurses in a medical detox facility is to keep people's objective, meaning what their body's actually showing us, like through high blood pressure, their objective side effects, and then what they're perceiving, they're feeling. If someone says that the light seems like it's just like, a laser burning into their eyes, then that's what it feels like to them. And we need to do something about that. If noises seem way too loud, we need to do something about that. And that's what we're here for.
So how long does detox last on just any given person? How long is usually somebody going to go through detox?
That's a really good question. So what we call acute detox, meaning someone comes into the unit. Our general detox stay, medically supervised closely, is anywhere from 3 to 7 days. Now, everybody's different. There are some people that have a harder time detoxing from benzos and from alcohol, and they may stay in a detox unit for up to 10 days. Most people, the average, I would say, is 5 to 7 days. People on opiates, depending upon how much they've been using and how long they've been using, again, they sometimes have, they can have a stay that lasts anywhere from 3 days. A lot of people do well at 3 to 4 days. They're ready to step down to what we call residential treatment, meaning they're moving out of sort of this more closely watched environment where we're checking on them every 2 to 4 hours, and into an area where, things are still controlled, but, they're much more on their own.
So paint a picture of, I guess, one of the worst detox you've seen.
There are different kinds of worst detoxes, to be honest. So one of the worst detoxes that I had physically was an older gentleman, older Hispanic man who came in, and his blood pressure was very uncontrolled. He was having a lot of difficulty eating. As he walked around the unit, we could tell that he was getting more and more unsteady. He got more and more mentally confused. He could not feed himself. Then he started to fall. Then his blood pressure was more elevated, and finally he started to seize. And, of course, during this time, we're communicating with a physician, we're medicating